Tell me what you want me to. Come get all this love. I'll do anything for you. I'm always thinking I wanna spend my time with you. Oh girl, I give that to you. Give it to you like, baby.
Tell me if you want a real nigga. I got them dollars, get the pop and make a deal with you. And we ain't never had a problem, I could build with you. And I'm like, fuck them other bitches, keep it real with you. I'm trying to be a rich man, PA. Wanna touch your body like a college out in PA. Now we got them dollars, get the poppin' on the PJ, get the poppin' when the freeway, yeah, the same bitch, EA. You know I gotta get it how I live it. Money on my mind, so this money on my vision. I swear I be a visionary. I sit back and watch a dead nigga cemetery. I gotta take charge like a Jae E. Don't wanna get caught like AI, but may I take ya to the place I lay ya. Have a hitting notes like Vega. Okay, brother, play ya.
Tell me what you want me to. Come get all this love. I'll do anything for you. I'm always thinking I wanna spend my time with you. Oh girl, I give that to you. Give it to you like, where you bad, anybody can see. Where you working, you ain't working it for free. I throw a little money, make it free. Like me. Where you bad, anybody can see. Where you working, you ain't working it for free. I throw a little money, make it free. Like me.
Paper chasing, making statements with a shaking Asian Gucci blankets. But some hard as pavement, flawless fragrance, and she talking blatant, bucket naked. That's what she gon' do it for me. If I ever need $1, she'll give it to me. And she know I say I got it 'cause a nigga do it. And we ballin' like it's Patrick Ewing. We ain't losing.
Tell me what you want me to. Come get all this love. I'll do anything for you. I'm always thinking I wanna spend my time with you. Oh girl, I give that to you. Give it to you like, baby. Tell me. Oh baby, tell me. Pretty, tell me. Oh baby, tell me what you want. Tell me what you want me to. Girl, there ain't anything that I won't do for you. Girl, I know you're strong, but you ain't bulletproof. You ain't never worried, baby, I want you. Oh no. Tell me what you want me to. Come get all this love. I'll do anything for you. I'm always thinking I wanna spend my time with you. Oh girl, I give that to you. Give it to you like, baby.
Fingers on the track.
Go mode.
Jae E, get it, man.
I'm just a, oh my God. Yeah. A bad chick in a two-seater. I let her blow me like we do Reaper. I tell her hop on like I do features. And read about her how I do things. Now watch her throw it back like Momo. I want Rihanna, but that's only for the promo. Oh no, I make her scream YOLO. She's smiling in the picture, but I charge her for the photo. You charge her for the photo? Yeah, I charge her for the photo. And Spanish girls love me like Como. And stop, in it, so rock, bend it and pop. It's acting hard, so that's it, make it count. Foreign model, she ride like a Chevy Silverado, in it, bottle, bend it, goggles. Wake up with a chick like Demi Lovato. I swear we about to go and get it. And that money rolling with me, so I'm rolling with it. Keep the Gucci on the waist and New Orleans on the fitted. Flag on the plate, call it clipping cause they tripping. Hold up, yeah. One time if you get money, 2 times if you laughing at them haters for me, and 3 times for the bad bitch. 4 times if you ain't leaving with that nigga. I'm about to go and get it. 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 And I'm about to go and get it. And I get it cause I'm winning because I get it. I live it because I live it. See it because I see it. It's better believe it because I read it. Hold up.
I can't hold back. I know what that is and where it's at. I'm trying to save my money and stack, but what? but I keep on having minor setbacks. Never get too comfortable, never get too relaxed. Never tell your partner where you keep your stash at. That's rule number 10 out. Never know who plotting, who got a hidden agenda.
White tee, fresh J's, hat sitting low, getting head crochet. Big money pimpin', yeah, I'm on that. She got a free type ass, so I'm on that. Feeling me to think these haters would vote for me, but I wouldn't let you haters hang my coat for me. Feeling good, feeling fly, let them all know. Rushing it like my last name was Drago. I like the way she do it, I like the way she moving. Man, she really on it. I just need a saddle cause I'm about to jump up on it. Money in the building and we taller cause we standing on it.
One time if you getting money, 2 times if you laughing at them haters for me, and 3 times for the bad bitch, 4 times if you ain't leaving with that. I'm about to go and get it. 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 And I'm about to go and get it, and I get it cause I'm winning because I get it, I live it because I live it, see it because I see it, it's better believe it because I breathe it, hold up, I'm about to go and get it, 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 I'm about to go and get it.
Yeah, we are back here at Off the Cuff Radio. That was 2 joints from my man Jae E, and we about to bring him on right now.
Yeah.
You on, brother?
Yeah, I'm in here. How y'all doing, man?
Going on, man.
Round of applause first. We gotta get that round of applause first. Get this thing
Thank you. I do appreciate it.
Welcome you to Off the Cuff Radio. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I'm a little stressed right now, being that the Cavs are losing, but other than that, I'm good, man. How about yourself, man?
Oh God.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's
Were you not prepared?
First shout out to LeBron James, because I don't understand how anybody can hate a black man taking care of his kids, sending kids to college, marry his high school sweetheart, and has no scandals. And I tell people, y'all hate on that man now, but when he hangs them up for good, y'all gonna miss the greatness that we have seen.
I agree. They're gonna miss everything he brought to the table. I just need him to get one more ring. That's all. I need him to get one more.
Yeah, I mean, but this is, but for what he's accomplished, man. I mean, I got so much respect for him. But Cleveland, I mean, you just kind of knew this is what it was. Cleveland is outgunned. They just can't hang with those guys. They just can't.
There's no way for them to match that firepower. Even when LeBron went for 50, they still lost. So there's really nothing.
You got to blame that on J.R. Smith. He not even know how to tell time.
You know what? George Hill missed a free throw, so we got to give George Hill just as much blame.
80% career, 80% career free throw shoot.
Come on, don't let. So that means if you shoot 5 of them, you're gonna make 4. Don't let that be the one that you miss.
See, he gonna get a smack in the back of the head. JR gonna get a choke.
Yeah, it's JR. We accept him for who he is.
But it's the thing though with JR, and I felt so bad for him because JR has had to come through so much in his career in terms of throughout his time in the league. Of course, being with a few teams, going from Denver, his time in New York, of course, and everything. And it's like he's always had that reputation of being a hardhead who couldn't get it right. When he won the title a couple of years ago, you could just see just that relief on his face and that emotion, and especially when he talked about how, with his dad, about how his dad always said, son, things are going to happen, but you keep doing it. You just keep your head up. And it was a bonehead play made. But it's a shame that primarily that probably 40% of this loss in the finals is going to be blamed on that one mistake that he made. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair.
But like you said, you got to take the good with the bad.
Like that. That's the dangerous thing about having a young team like that, because, to follow a brief sports history, y'all remember when the Magic made it to the finals and Nate Anderson, he choked, and that just killed the whole series for him. That boy is lucky social media didn't exist back then, but they would have eaten him alive now.
Oh, he'd have got roasted. He'd have definitely got roasted for that one.
Dude, that was like, that was back in 1995, and that was like, that's still, when you look into history of basketball, because there's always the plays. Each sport has its infamy plays in terms of when the mistakes were made in crunch time that got the team crushed. Of course, we know about the 1993 championship game against North my Tar Heels with Michigan and Chris Webber, and then of course the
great job,
the timeout.
It was a title.
And then of course the '95 finals, with Nick Anderson missing the free throws. Of course, '97 with Kobe against the Jazz, and he just took that 3-point shot when the play wasn't drawn up for him.
Airball.
And now this situation with J.R. Smith running up the floor, not being aware of the clock, and it's man.
Yeah, right. It happens. He could have very well went up with it, won the game for him, but you know how that works. Maybe in an alternate universe, he won it somewhere.
Yeah. Well, for one thing, man, number one, it's great to have you with us. We thank you for, taking your time out to join us. So, I mean, tell our audience about yourself. The floor is yours. How you started, everything about you. It's
perfect. And I definitely want to say, I appreciate you guys having me on, and it's definitely a blessing. Just to give y'all, some background history. I mean, most of the time, I definitely like to let the music, people to hear the music and see what it is I bring to the table. Once they do, I give them, a little story of where I come from. Born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. Most of my time I spent, on the West Bank. Shout out to, all my people in the West Bank, Kennedy Heights, all them. Started doing music at a young age, man. I really, when I was real young, I used to really, really want to be a singer. I used to want to be in a boy band. I wanted to be like part of like Boys Men. And then I grew up, realized I couldn't dance. Didn't work out for me. But I was too big. I'm a pretty tall person, so there's like a height limit once you're dancing. Like once you get over 6 foot, you probably shouldn't be dancing. Anyway, so.
Look, the boy bands had a swag back in the day, didn't they?
Yeah, it was cool. Come on, Motown Philly. I still to this day hop around with that song. Come on.
Look, who you had back in the day? You had Boys to Men. You had Perfect Gentlemen. You had the Boys, ABC,
True.
All of them. Yeah.
We'll have no more to be like now.
It was like you couldn't be like it. You didn't want to be like NWA, because NWA had gun cases and all that stuff. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be a pretty boy, right? These dudes get the chicks,
right? That's what I used to tell everybody. Dog, look, you want to be at the show where all the women are, and I was always the way around with. But I mean, I've been doing music since I was, I would say, like, I really started getting into music heavy when I was about 15, 16. What happened was, I used to, my pops actually had a little studio at the house at the time when he was with my mom, and he would never let me go in the studio. But what I would do is, when he go to work, I would like leave school early. Or when they go on vacation, I would like go in there and start recording myself and start engineering and really, that's how I start, like, perfecting my sound. That's how I got my studio etiquette. That's how I found out how I like to record, finding out cadence, what really works for me, my voice, and how I like, to how I like my production to be. So,
right.
I mean, long story short, I started doing that, and I started putting my music up on this website called SoundClick. I don't know if y'all remember SoundClick, but SoundClick was a website, you put your music on. It's kind of like a MySpace, but more music-driven. I started putting my music up there, and this cat from Australia, Matthew Davies, still to this day, I still got to shout him out. He had this little label he was starting called La La Entertainment. This is like maybe
Down Under.
This is like, yeah, he's Down Under. Yep. This is like 2008. I'm like 18, 19 years old. I remember he sent me an inbox. He's like, look, I really like your music. I want to sign you. I was like, oh, really? To this day, never met him, but he asked me a few things. What do you want to record? And, let's put a budget behind it. From there, that's what we went with. I told him the studio I wanted to record at. He wired the guy the money. I went there, never had to worry about it. Any photo shoots, took care of it. Yeah, this was my first experience with a label or investor or whatever you want to call it. And I mean, we put together like my first project called Grand Entrance. And mind you, in 2008, 2009, you on iTunes, things was huge. So, we run around thinking everything's going great. Long story short, that relationship dissolved. Everything's still good. It's just it was tough for us being he's in Australia, I'm here. It was just really tough for us to get on the same page with some things. And then I from there slowly started working with my man Jaime and Danny Boy Records actually. That's how I ended up meeting that producer Fingers. For a lot of people that don't know, I had ended up doing a record with Nate Dogg. I ended up getting Nate Dogg on this record I got called Fast Money, a while ago, and he was the producer that did that, and actually got me and put me on the record. So I mean, shout out to my man Fingers. Actually, he was the same guy that actually produced the record "What You Want" that you guys played earlier as well.
Right.
So yeah, so shout out to my man Fingers, of course. So yeah, we go from there. Yeah, they're huge, man. That's a big part of my sound. Working with my producers and really, crafting the sound. So it's not just they make a beat, send it to me. We literally go in there and produce the record all together. So we'll make the beat, take things out, add layers, add a bunch of different things in there, and we, move from there. But I mean, from there, I just kept pushing it on my own and, grew got some legs out here out west in the Southwest region. Got to tour a little bit. Got to have a lot of artists that I worked with, E40 as you guys heard, as I said, Nate Dogg, DMX. I got to tour with Fab and Pusha T. Shout out to Pusha.
Yeah, man. He did VA proud. He did us proud. He really did us proud.
He held y'all now. Because when Drake came first, I was like, here comes Drake again. When Pusha came with the song The 80s. That's the same thing I thought. I was like, oh. I was nervous, but Push came back, and then he shut Drake completely up on that one. Drake just bowed out. I said, you know what, Drake, bow out. You know what, you still can't lose. You're still gonna be number one on the charts. You don't need this. You don't need to get in this war right now.
Yeah, they're just not gonna look at him as a caliber MC like that, and Nas and Jay and Pac and Big and all them now. He gonna do those 90210 numbers though, because Beverly Hills love his music.
Yeah, I mean, it's we joke about it on the show. We joke about it a lot, but the fact is, we knew more than anything that situation was never going to really escalate past, a couple of albums. Those guys there's a lot of investments, a lot of money between those individuals, and nobody was going to have that situation escalate into something that was going to be a catastrophic, end for either one.
I agree with you on that.
But definitely with you coming from the 504, shout out, to New Orleans, man. I mean, you come from an area that in recent years, over the past 2 decades, has birthed some of the legends. I mean, of course, Master P, Cash Money Records, UNLV, producers, like Manny Fresh, and of course the neighborhoods, like Desire, Calio, You know, of course, Broad, of course, the streets, Broad and Claiborne. Tell us about, those, about how, where you grew up and how that influenced you in terms of, you finding your way in the game to express yourself.
One thing about New Orleans is, like I always tell people, that I think we have that bounce flavor, in which I personally love. But I'm like, you can't get that bounce flavor from anywhere outside of New Orleans. It's almost like like gumbo. You may find some people in the gumbo, out there, but you're not gonna get gumbo like you get it in New Orleans.
Right.
So with me, a lot of people that I used to listen, like, I'm definitely UNLV. Wayne still to this day is my favorite rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Always has been, still to this day my favorite rapper. Watching the P movement and Birdman and Cash Money on how all they move, that just motivated me enough to know that these are people that have come from similar circumstances that I have and was able to make it happen. That made me realize that no dream is too big. Everybody always just say, "Oh, you're dreaming too big, you're dreaming too big." But I'm like, well, someone does it. Why can't I be that person that does it?
Definitely.
So,
and I'd be remiss too. Soulja Slim as well. Yeah, Soulja Slim. We can't forget Soulja Slim.
R.I.P.
Oh,
Soulja
he was
Slim.
cold.
R.I.P. Soulja Slim. We can't forget Soulja Slim. Because Soulja Slim, New Orleans loved Soulja Slim. Like, literally, they loved Soulja Slim. It was bad that he went out that way.
Like the Tupac of New Orleans out there.
Yeah,
man.
Man, and that's another thing. Louisiana support theirs, niggas. When Master P and all of them niggas came out, all of the different groups that came out, niggas, Louisiana supported all them niggas. No matter if them niggas was competing, beefing, whatever they was doing. Nigga, Louisiana showed up for their motherfucking labels, they artists. Nigga, that's what bring people like Louisiana, Atlanta, all them people out there. Is when niggas show up and support each other, and collaborate, and fans is loyal to you, the whole fucking city. New Orleans had the whole city. Shit, Freeport, every goddamn where. The whole
I
state
tell
was
people this all the time. I said they got stars in New Orleans that a lot of people may have never heard of. Like, I remember Chopper Style popping before he even got the deal with. Like, people would like Chopper Style, DJ Jubilee, TT Tucker. Like, there's a lot of people down there that was popping before. You know what I'm saying?
Do you remember Feel I Feel?
What was that
Way
song?
back. Man, I can't remember none of the songs. I had the whole fucking CD, and I got it. Nigga, every time I brought it to Houston, a nigga took it, but they stopped selling it. Nigga, it was bullshit. Nigga, I started to buy a whole case, nigga, but they don't sell them nowhere. Nigga, but Feel I Feel, jamming ass shit. Nigga, they had, nigga, when I go to New Orleans, nigga, they had songs that you still never heard. A couple of them would trickle down to Houston, but nigga, you never heard it, and you over there just bobbing your head like, nigga, damn, this shit jamming. But that stay underground, I'm guessing. At least they get on the radio though over there. I don't know.
Yeah, New Orleans will definitely play their records.
Now, I was gonna go out on a limb and ask this here, because being from the outside, I gotta ask about in regards to New Orleans. Was it really like competitive between Cash Money and No Limit?
Yeah, it was. The thing was this though, when it was kind of almost transition, because No Limit kind of had their run a little bit before Cash Money. Yeah. No Limit was really taking over, 96, 97, 98. Around 98, I remember like 97, 98, if I'm correct, when Juvenile had came out with the Soldier Rags record. I remember that was
on Warlock Records,
put up Soldier Rags. Yes.
Was that on Warlock Records at first, or was that Cash Money?
I actually think that was his first joint on Cash Money, if I'm correct.
Okay, because there was Being Myself album. Yeah, because there was the Being Myself album before on Warlock, and then that was before he got on with Cash Money.
Yeah, once they got on with that, it slowly the transition slowly started to change, and then because I mean, look, literally, if you remember, Cash Money taking over for the 99 and the 2000. By that point,
man,
when 400 Degrees dropped, dog, it was different.
One of the greatest
Cash,
intros to a song ever. Oh man, you
feel
knew
me?
what it was.
Now, I told my lady this. I was like, look, the way I judge a woman is solely by what she does after she hears Cash Money Records is taking over for the 990 and 2000. That is how that's where I judge her from.
Look.
If you start clicking and that hands go up, we gonna have to rethink this.
Yeah,
You feel me?
man.
Or like, woman, what is you doing? We at church. You play that record anywhere. I don't care where you at.
Well, I mean, they playing it up in church, and I'm like, okay, what church I done wandered in?
Right, look.
Bible of booty quaking? Look, sanctified of ass shaking?
Sometimes
the church of the church of make it clap, the congregation of cash them down.
Right now, it's the Church of Titties going up over on the Little Missionary Rock on the Hill.
They got they got the choir behind the damn rump shaking, sitting there singing ooh la la's and all of that. Hallelujah.
Man.
I ain't gonna front. If I was at a First Sunday and they played that with the choir and the choir singing, girl, you look good, but you know what? I'm becoming a member of that church right that day.
That's how high that record is.
I'm just saying. They bring the whole choir in, and Pastor, girl, you're working with some backyard. You see, it's actually Juvie preaching.
You know they changed it to God. You working with God, yeah. The boy, but Lord, everybody is singing the real song.
And that's exactly how it work out. But I mean, hey. But I mean, to answer your question though, so when I seen it, it was kind of more of a transition of power because No Limit was still moving, but they start slowing down. Granted, I think Lil Romeo came and had a really big hit at that time, and then C had ended up catching his case, so everything started slowing down at that point. I mean, but P had his hands in so many different avenues, and then at that point, Cash Money was straight music, because you had Cash Money doing their thing. You had Juvie doing this thing, then BG. So you got Back That Ass Up playing, and then right after Back That Ass Up, Bling Bling comes on. Then you got the Hot Boys doing their thing. Then the Big Timers doing their thing. So it's like
they couldn't compete.
It was you know what? It was Golden State versus Cleveland. You had too many heavy guns at that point. It's just you had too many shooters on the court. It was like, what can we do?
Well, one thing about it, and I think a lot of people really don't understand in terms of the street history with New Orleans, is that it's serious out there. They had a song called "Drag 'Em in the River," and that's exactly how it went for people. Yeah, man. Badass Yellow Boy. I mean, and that's like
you won't ever. Ain't that I'm gonna drag him
and I mean,
when you body and check out. Yeah, that was my joke.
Yeah, man. I mean, so there was always, I think, a lot of times in terms of where, there were, I guess, during the 90s too, because Cash Money, people don't understand the history. The Cash Money had actually been around since 1990 and had just hit prominence in 1998, after that deal with Universal. Of course, ironically, No Limit had started the same year, but P had initially started in the Bay Area in Richmond, California, to really hone his craft before really bringing it back home. So obviously, there was going to be inevitably some type of competition. We can only thank God that nobody was killed during that time because both of those guys were heavy in the street on both sides. Both were certified. Now, and we don't necessarily want to step on toes here, so please, you don't have to say anything that may be too inflammatory. The situations with Cash Money in terms of how things had started off so great, but then over the time, and you being from there, and being in the industry, you saw a lot of the ins and outs of what was going on. What was really happening in terms of the business dynamics as to why at the end of it, they were unable to really keep that, keeping everyone together? Was it really just a lot of bad business, or was it just kind of people wanted to kind of go in their own direction with it?
I'll be completely honest with you, from everything that I've heard from just people that I've talked to close within that circle and everything, it was all bad business. I mean, because you think about it, when you're younger and you coming on, you know what I'm saying, you're satisfied with a few $1,000s here, some jewelry, a car. But once they were getting older and realizing how big they were, a lot of their money just wasn't adding up. So from everything every last one of them had left because the money wasn't right. I mean, and just in testament to that, we kind of see what Wayne was going through. You know what I'm saying? And I personally felt bad for Wayne because if this is the dude that stayed loyal with you and rode with you through all this, that's the one dude you don't want to put. You know what I'm saying? If he's saying if he's saying, look, you promised me $8 million or whatever you promised me, let me get that. Or worse, if you don't even have it, look, you know what? I ain't got it for you, but let me give you half or something. Let me try to do good for you because Wayne carried Cash Money for a very long time.
For real.
He could have went ahead and Rockefeller on him, but he stayed down with Cash Money from 04 to this period now. He carried that wave.
He did, and I think more than anything. Oh, go ahead, Chinchilla. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the business side of it, because I'm always looking at business. The business side of it all, he fucking off, like you said, his number one moneymaker on the cool, and the glue that holds his whole operation together. But all he doing with all of this talent, if he was a good businessman, like you said, he'd go ahead and straighten that account out. And he put something on all the rest of the accounts because, nigga, he could stand to make so much more in the industry long term because of all of the stuff he's been through, the name he's acquired, the reputation that he had acquired up until all of these lawsuits. He could have done some things. But like you say, when niggas want to think of the cash right now and fucking over niggas, they don't give a fuck and they think whatever. They fuck themselves in the long run. You gonna hear that nigga filing bankruptcy and he gonna end up tax evasion. That's the type of people that run into them type of problems. They trying to be too slick and they fucking themselves in the end, and they don't even see it coming because they not thinking long term. They thinking what's right in front of them and how slick they can get. So,
that's true. Now, from
one thing I learned when I first.
Go ahead.
One thing, the first thing that I learned when I got into like doing music was, you know what, always do good business. Always do good business. If I got nothing else, I know for a fact no one will ever be able to say anything bad about me on my business sense. So where if this is what we're gonna do, we're gonna do. If I was paid to perform here, I don't care how many people are there. If it's a sold out show or whatever, it could be 2 people there. If I was paid to perform here, I'm gonna get them 2 people that exact same show I'm gonna get a sold out show to. My thing has always been about doing good business. Like when I started doing a lot of stuff, when I was starting to trying to build my brand and so I could tour out here, I would tell every promoter, look, you don't need to pay me nothing. Just let me come and get on this show. Whatever you make from that, you keep that. But when I come back around, if it comes out good and we can do business again later, make sure you take care of me the next time. But let's at least try this. You know what I'm saying? I may have never been in this state. I remember my first time going to Greeley, Colorado, was with the homie Corey Gunn. Shout out Corey Gunn. We had one out there.
Yeah, good dude.
He's a real good dude, real solid man. Shout out my man Corey. We had went out there and we was doing a tour run and we was out in Greeley. And my first thing was we did the show with Corey. I was like, well, look, I got my promoter's number, me and my team, so that way when we go back, we can set up our own thing. Well, we always need to make sure that our business was good and we had a good face. We had a good name because that's the one thing you got in here. You don't get a first impression again.
Yeah.
That's true.
So what was it like for you in terms of, going into the studio and realizing, you were about to cut your first album or just really your first song and just getting it all together? I mean, what was that feeling like in terms of man, I'm like, this is it. Like I'm doing it.
It was. So remember how I told you I was like in the in-home studio working. By the time I got into like the bigger studio to where we were really having at least a little budget behind it to where I could record, I was so, and I don't even want to say seasoned, but I guess that's the only, I was so seasoned and prepared. Like I kid you not, we would book like a 5-hour mark I would lay vocals for 5 different songs in an hour.
Mm.
I would boom, boom, boom. Let's go. Okay, because if this is what we got, we need to make the most of this. Okay, and boom, we'll turn these out. Whichever ones sound good, we can come back and mix later. But let's get all these together. So it's to the point to where I was talking about turning out songs as quick as possible. At this time, I was literally still working a 9 to 5. I was working at AT&T. Working at AT&T. I was 20 years old. My daughter was just born, so I'm like, there's no way I can't, not have money, steady income coming in. So I would literally, sometimes I'd have her with me, and I bring her to in the studio we were recording, the Salt Mines is called. There's like a villa. So there's the whole control room, and in the back there's a bed, a TV, and all that. So boom, lay a little blanket down for her, let her sit on the bed and watch TV. In between tracks, I go bring her some snacks, make sure she's good, and literally go back in there and record. Get her home. It's maybe 2, 3 o'clock. Lay her down. I get up at 8 o'clock to go clock in, drop her off at daycare, do the same thing all over again. So I mean, but to do the daddy daycare like you were doing, man, I mean, this is the part about hip hop that we love because we love the humanity of it and we love the reality because a lot of artists think that, this is all glamour and glitz. This is all, champagne wishes and caviar dreams in the words of the, late Robin, Leach. But the fact is that this is a job and it takes, not everybody necessarily has those financial resources where they can just do that. Shout out to my man Jeezy. When he went into the game, Jeezy already had his money straight. So he was able to do it the way he did it. But not everybody has that kind of money where you're able to just kind of, people, you had a real life in terms of, working, and people got to understand, a lot of people like Exhibit before he got into rap, he was working at, the American Cookie Company, people start off, it's humble beginnings and family first. I'll tell you a story. I remember the first check I ever got from music. It was pretty early on, and I felt like it wasn't crazy amount, but at my age, it seemed like it was a crazy amount. It's like maybe 10, 15. I remember the first check I got. It was a check. This was before I even knew about any taxes or anything like that. Because remember, I used to work 9 to 5. They take my taxes out at that point. I got a check 15, and I remember literally getting that check. And I remember, for lack of a better phrase, I fucked that money off so quick. I remember, I fucked that money off so quick to where, the next year I was looking, I was like, wow, I made this much money in this, and I had nothing. I had a chain and a Gucci bag, and I don't remember what happened. And at that moment, I was sick because I was like, damn. And a lot of people think as soon as you come in, you get that first check, oh, I'm about to blow. It's a wrap. Woo, woo, woo. And it took forever to recoup that, and a lot of the money that I would get, I would reinvest it back into my career. I would reinvest it to sometimes, okay, I'm going to go do my own show. If I'm going to do the show, I got to rent the venue. I got to, have this. I got to have that. That costs money. I tell people like this, just with any other business you start, it's an investment. If I started a restaurant, before I can open doors for this restaurant, I'm probably $50,000 to $100,000 in debt because I got to have space. I got to have product. You got to do all that. For some reason, people feel like, music, as soon as you get in the studio, you turn out a product. People forget that $10 CD that I'm hustling out here, or I'm trying to get you to buy, or that $1 iTunes sale that people want to get for free. Man, it cost me about $300 to make the song on it.
Yeah, and Swift, we had Big Swift on Rap-A-Lot, from Rap-A-Lot, the producer, and he was on a few months ago, and he broke down to us in intricate and intimate detail about how those paychecks in terms of your royalties in a game are, how they're a lot, in terms of, when you get paid. And it is something it is something artists do have to think about in terms of the money factor and what you're getting, because it's, like you said, it is easy to lose track of it, and especially with with it being how it is, where it is so cosmetically driven, everybody's trying to floss being a boss, but not everybody know that soft can go from hot to mild in a minute.
Ooh, very quickly. Very, very quickly. Look, if anybody want to wrap any check you make off of that, first thing I say is invest it. Invest it.
Yep.
Invest it. Yeah, you try to don't just go out and try to ball out first. Invest it. I know we all want to go get the Rolex. We all want to go do that, but it's smart. And I can't tell somebody not to because I did it. But I'm just saying it's always a better idea.
Yeah.
So it's out for you too.
Yeah, these cats are furry.
Man, look, when you talk about them rollies and everything, people. Oh, go ahead.
Buy a car for every day of the week.
Man,
hit up the back page.
But you got to remember how people fall into these tax troubles too, because people don't look at Rolexes the same as a car. And the fact is that number one, anything over $10,000 gets reported to the IRS. Secondly, also as well, not many people, if you're buying an Audemars Piguet or a Rolex Day Perpetual Sky Dweller, where you're looking at around maybe $55,000 to $125,000. I mean, that's like making a car payment, because not many people got $125,000. They can just pull out of their ass and they got that money to pay for it all right there.
Well, you know what the problem is too, because a lot of the watches, if you keep it like original, like how you bought it, like if you go into Rolex or you go into Audemars, like a lot of people know Audemars does not sell their watches with all those diamonds in it. So once they go and add them diamonds in it, it actually really hurts the resale value.
Depreciate.
So if you
yeah.
You got your Rolex on. If you keep your Rolex the same way you got it, you keep it in good condition, you can always trade that in, sell it, and it'll still at least keep a good percentage of the value. But as soon as you go and start changing it up, that will drop down a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, only on Off the Cuff Radio do you get the history of hip-hop with some of the legendary artists, but you also get jewelry tips in terms of how not to ice out everything before it melts the worst of it.
Right? That's true. It is how it works.
So right now, your status on your career, and we usually talk about this with a lot of artists with staying independent or going to the majors. And are you currently independent?
I am currently independent. Right now, like I still make the business that I did previously. I can still go and do some shows and make a decent little check to where we survive in this household. Now, I would not say I'm completely against going to a major at this point. I would definitely not say I'm against it. I get why people, do stay against it. I would prefer more of a partnership, like more of a partnership or a P&D
like
deal.
Like what Nipsey Hussle did.
Oh, man. Yo, shout out to Nipsey, because Nipsey motivates the hell out of me. Just watching Nipsey, watch how he grew. Yeah, kind of just like what Nipsey did, to where you have a partnership. I said, or I'll even say a P&D deal, a promotion and distribution deal, to where I'll still pay for all my recording and videos and all that. All I need y'all to do is, throw out promo or even match me with promo. If I put 10,000 promo, y'all put 10,000 promo and send it through your distribution outlet.
Yeah.
And then, and we can split it right down the middle. But I mean, I can't lie to you. If a good old, Jimmy Iovine gave me a call and offered a 360 deal, and then, there's a crazy advance in front of it, it's very hard to turn down when that money's right in front of you. Well, it would be very hard to turn down.
Well, we tell anybody, and we joke a lot on the shows. Yeah, we joke a lot on the shows about deals and everything, but we're all business when it comes to business. And the thing is, if the business works for you, then do the business, and a lot of times, it's, when you look at people like Nipsey, who had done it independently for like 15 years before he finally signed with Atlantic, But he had already had a deal with Sony back in the day that kind of fell through, but he kept pushing, you know. But I mean, you know, hence the album title Victory Lap, because this was his triumphant jaunt around the track, which was a culmination of his career that he had already basically won. You know, it's like he was a millionaire before he signed that deal with Atlantic.
That's true.
But the thing is that, you know, this is one of the best interviews we've had, because to see you give us so much wisdom, so much candor, to be so human in how you've articulated the ups and downs, the hustle and flow, the ins and outs, and, you know, what's to come in terms of the possibilities, man. This is something we don't always hear, and the audience doesn't always hear, you know, and you've really given us something to really, the jewels for us to really understand in terms of, you know, when you go into music, it's a job, and you treat it as such, being a professional.
That's true, man, and I definitely appreciate that. Like I said, first impressions is everything, and I want to be as real as possible. Make sure that it just to let you know, it's not everything it's cracked up to be, but I still love it. You know, like I was telling my fiance actually that you know, she was telling her about different tours or whatever. I was like, you know, I've been on 3 different tours, both, you know, all regional. And I said I've never got to, you know, get the glamour tour. Like, I've never been on a tour where I had the tour bus. All of my tours have been, you know, me and my team in a 15-passenger van, and you know, us going and, you know, hitting the cities just that way. Granted, we have a hotel, but I was like, it seems very, very fun. You're in a different city. I said, but people don't understand it's a rush. Like, when I get to the city, I really can't do anything but go to the hotel, change, run to sound check, perform, and then depending on how far the next city is, go to the next one. Mind you, I'm around 5 to 6 guys at all times. So, you know, we always, it's the testosterone, so we're gonna butt heads. It's a very good grind, but I will tell people it's not all glitz and glamour. But don't get it twisted. I love every bit of it. The only thing I hate is just being the hardest part of anything with touring to me is being away from, you know, my family, being away from the house.
See, and that's
Definitely.
the good part. That's the good part of hip hop that I love to air, and I love to make sure we point out, because at the end of the day, we do have good fathers in our community, regardless. Let alone everybody wants to talk so much shit about rappers, but more and more rappers are showing pictures of them engaging with their kids and telling about stories of engaging with their families, and you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, that's something to respect. And a lot of people know that it's something you should do, but at the end of the day, so many people say it's not being done. So that's something we got to put in their face every now and then. I'm just saying.
No, that's true. That's true. It's not, I've had no greater accomplishment other than being a father, man. That has always been one of the greatest things I've done.
That's what's up.
And going back into your resume, now you also said earlier that you did a song with DMX. How did that come about?
Oh, okay. So, funny story. So, at the time, I ended up meeting with my partner. His name's Jaime. And he kind of he heard some music and kind of wanted to executive produce something. We linked up and we hit it off. Still to this day, that's like my brother, like my best friend. But he is a huge DMX fan. And when I say huge DMX fan, like huge DMX fan. The only person better than DMX to him is Jesus Christ himself. And they're very close to him. Yeah, the only reason he won't put DMX there is because he never seen DMX walk on water. That's the only reason. But there was an opportunity, actually, because we record at Salt Mines a lot. DMX was recording there. So we actually did the first track I did with DMX. It was produced by Dame Grease. So
live on Linux, yeah.
Yep. We met with Dame Grease and DMX, at the studio. Mind you, my boy comes through. He's completely damn, this is DMX. Like, this is my hero, and I get to say, like, I'm in the studio with him because we're about to work with him, right? So it's me, my man Jaime, and then my little brother. And my younger brother at the time was, let me see, if I was 22, he was like 17, 18. Just actually went to state for track, like good track runner, all that. So we all sitting outside, and, you know, X, he just talking, and, you know, we just vibing out, talking, we're drinking, passing forward the drink, and he had passed the drink to my little brother. And my little brother was like, no, I'm good. He's like, yo, what's the problem? You don't drink? You know, what's up? You Muslim or something? And my little brother said, no, I just do sports. So, you know, X was like, well, sports too, you know, and I do it drunk. So he was like, well, he said, I'm really good at it. So X was like, look, I bet you. He said, what you do? You run? He said, I bet you all the money in my pocket right now. You know, you can't, you won't beat me in a race. So my little brother was like, all right, let's go. So he was like, you won't do that? He said, I got $10,000 in my pocket right now. Mind you, I'm sitting there like, I can't cover a $10,000 bet, but look, if little bro feels comfortable with this, I'm going to ride with it. So X is going like very ham on it. He's like, look, let's do this. So I looked at my little brother and I said, you sure you got this? He said, Darius. He looked at me, he said, Jay. He said, dog, I'm in the greatest shape of my life. I'm out here in some cargo shorts and Chuck Taylors. He said, yo, X got on Timberlands and some baggy jeans. He said, and he's been drinking. You really think he's about to beat me in a race? I said, you know what, fair enough. Line him up. Long story short, though, X was just clowning. He was like, I don't want to race. But I still think that was one of the more comedy moments we had with him. But we went into the studio, and like I said, Dave Grease pulled up a few records. And the actual record we did was actually called Get At Me. He did the hook for me, and it kind of almost went down the way of Get At Me, dog. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it was just, you know, the nostalgia of that. Funny thing is, too, and I cannot even make this up, as he's recording, or we're in the booth, as we're in the control room, his behind the music came on. Oh, so Lord. His behind, that one right there hit me. I was like, damn. He's standing right here playing the guitar, because he was like, I'll just put a live guitar in it. He's playing around with the guitar, and his behind the music was on. I was like, damn. And he was literally just, that was a moment I was like, damn, it's really close. It's really close. I'm here with, because definitely DMX to me is a legend. Hands down a legend. And, as far as everything that I've been involved with him, he's always been, 100 and straightforward, man. So shout out to X, man. I hope you get out soon.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
When you look at his career, man, he's had his ups and downs, man, but there is no denying the impact of what he came in the game with. A lot of people don't know about from 1992 when he did his first song, Born Loser. But in '98, when he dropped Get At Me, dog, for his breakout single, you got for the latter part of the next 3 years, X just held it down. He is still the only. There are only two artists in hip hop history who have ever debuted a #1 album in the same year. Yep. Tupac did it with All Eyes on Me, and then a Machiavelli, albeit under different names. And then DMX did it in '96, and then DMX did it in 1998 with, of course, It's Dark and Hell is Hot, and then Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood.
Blood of My Blood.
And those are the only two artists to ever debut a #1 album in the same year ever.
Yeah, he definitely was in there. Like I still to this day watch some of his performances. One thing that I do, like I'm a very big student of the game. So like one of my favorite parts of what I do with music is my live show. I hands down say I don't care who is on the bill with me. No one, I don't think anyone will ever outperform me, ever. I give a close run to Buster. I do give a close run to Buster because that boy gets busy. But I can definitely, I confidently say, I've seen Buster perform a few times, and even I try to take some moves. It's like watching, it's like watching the Masters get down. So you want to learn something. You almost want to pull out your notepad and write something down. But I'm like, I don't know how you got that much energy, man. I'm half your age, and I can't even go that long. So. But I watch a lot of the documentaries. So like I still to this day watch backstage. You guys remember the Backstage documentary?
Yes,
One of the
sir.
greatest ever. Shout out to The Rock, man. I mean, that was like, boy. I mean, but that was Rockefeller Records at their peak from where they were really like, that was their apex of awesome for what they were doing at that time.
I remember when Dame was spazzing on Kevin Lyles.
Man, who didn't
It's not the funniest scene up there.
Oh my God!
I don't understand. And one thing I had to comment too. And what kind of irritates me, I just don't like seeing bald dudes getting shape ups. I don't like it.
Nah, man, it's for the aesthetics. It was for the camera. What can we do? Line me up. It looks cool. You get lined up in the backstage of Barclays Theater, Barclays Center. It looks cool. But I would watch that, and I still to this day would watch, DMX perform, like how much passion he would perform with. I know how he would always pray. So I've even seen him like cry on stage before, and most people, you can't cry, but his shit was so passionate. Like, you gotta respect it. You gotta, like, you just had to respect what he was bringing out there. He was leaving it all on the floor. And, to this day, still watch that. Shout out my man Heaven Sent. You guys there's a little boy rapping. At the very end of the DVD, there's a little boy rapping. You guys remember that?
When they was all in Cypher together, right?
Kinda. It was like right at the very end of the DVD. There's a little kid back there, and he's with Method Man, and he start rapping in front of DMX and everybody like that. Point to that is, kind of find out there's a partner of mine that actually lives out here. He's a rapper named Heaven Sent, and I've known Heaven Sent for a while. He's a little younger than me, but I've known him for a while, and I did not know that was him. He was the little boy that was rapping back there until like 2 years ago.
Oh wow!
Go figure. Yeah, small world. Very small world. I happened to pop up at the radio station just to say what's up to some people, and he was there, and it was like, oh yeah, it's the 20th anniversary of Backstage, and people don't know that you were the kid from Backstage. And I was like, what is the irony of this? I was just watching this, and it happened to be you.
Wow.
Small world.
For real. Hey.
Now, one more thing I want to shoot to you, and then before we wrap this thing up is, of course, everybody want to shoot you about the whole Nate Dogg thing, and then you got to be a bad cat for Nate to want to reach out to you.
Mhm.
And how did that even happen?
So how it happened, it wasn't necessarily Nate reaching out to me right off bat. To be completely honest with you, it was actually my producer Fingers. Fingers had produced a record, and they had got it was Nate on the hook. So when he spoke to me about it, he was like, "Yo, come get on, come get on this record." I was like, who's on the hook? Initially, actually, who was on a version of it was Mike Jones. Shout out to homie Mike Jones. It just didn't go the way it was meant to go at that point. But at that time, I had a lot of like aggression in my raps. I was very like aggressive. I was real hungry. So Fingers had called me. He's like, "Yo, I need that hunger for this record." The record was called Fast Money. He's like, "Yo, I really need that hunger for the record." Story short, I ended up going out there to California. We laid the record, and I mean, it's still to this day, it was still like mind-boggling to me that I have a record with Nate Dogg. Like Nate Dogg still to me is like he's an icon. He was the first to do that, the whole singing thing on a hip hop record. He's perfected that. His sound was amazing, and like literally still every show I do before I end my show, I'll do a 5-minute tribute to Nate Dogg, because that was actually the first record that got me any type of buzz or popularity that that kind of helped my career go to that next stage. So I'm forever indebted. The Hook King, I agree.
I mean, that baritone, that unmistakable baritone. I mean, dude, he just we miss you, Nate. We miss you.
We definitely do, man. And he stayed relevant. All the way from when 92 Regulators and everything. all the way up to Fabulous.
92 Death Row days. I mean, from the Chronic, and of course on Warren G's, Regulate, G-Funk era album. I mean, of course that track came out on Above the Rim, Regulate, and then that album came out later. But boy, I mean, Nate.
That Regulator, every white person, if they knew anything about rap or hip hop, when you ask them, that's one of the songs they put on. That Regulator. Like, oh Lord.
Now,
that's the extent of it. But everybody jammed that shit.
One thing.
Go ahead.
Now, I love Regulator. One of the things that threw me off is when I found out Regulator was the sample from the Michael McDonald record.
Yeah, I
was younger. I keep forgetting. When I was younger, I was like, I remember my mom would play it. I say, oh man, that guy stole Nate Dogg's record. She's like, no, son, this song was out first.
Same thing. I was like, man, at the time I was thinking Dre produced everything that came out of Death Row. I was like, man, Dr. Dre done cooked up a classic.
Right.
Look, shout out to Michael McDonald because, that's the Blue Eyed Soul brother. He one of us because, of course, the stuff he did with the Doobie Brothers before he went solo. I mean, that dude.
Motown,
and
right?
Then, of course,
was he on the Motown?
I think he was. And, of course, with Patti LaBelle on My Own, I mean, but that man is like.
Yeah, I love him.
Michael McDonald
in my playlist.
Powerful voice.
He's a legend.
Shoot, y'all talking about Regulate. I'm about to crack that joint up after this interview.
Dude, look, on eBay, I had to order the original Above the Rim cassette, not that remaster from 2001 where the 3 bonus tracks were left off. I had to go back and find the original 1994, and of course, man, I mean, not only for Regulators, but I mean that whole soundtrack. I mean, if there's one thing can be said about Death Row, even for all the problems they had, Nate Dogg was part of some classic ass hits up there, and I mean, just for that soundtrack alone, I mean, boy.
Represent for the Dogtown King. That dog, they had Pour Out a Little Liquor, Afro Puffs.
Oh, snap, Lady Array.
I'll be sure, daggone redoes Al Green's Let's Stay Together. Silver Sable, Old Time Sake, Sweet Sable, yeah.
That was one of the hardest records.
Was Michelle A on Death Row too, or is it Ruthless she was on?
She was there.
No, well, let's see, because I think Jewel, of course, you had Jewel and Aaron Hall with Gonna Give It to You. In matter of fact, Michelle A was up there. She was up there, yeah.
She has a great voice. She had her little TV show or whatever. I don't know if y'all seen it, but she put a little TV show out after the Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dre was making sure that wasn't about to come out. As soon as they hit cut, he sent that little suit out there.
Hey, right, yo, cease and desist. Cease and desist. Look, I haven't seen a rerun of that movie. I can't find it on YouTube. It aired one time on Lifetime, I believe, and that was it.
That's it. You ain't gonna, if you look at it on YouTube, it's gonna probably be in chipmunk letters. It's gonna be a chipmunk. It's gonna have Japanese. They'll be talking like the Japanese or something where the words isn't gonna match the mouth.
Yeah, right. Man, that audio.
Jimmy IV ain't playing.
Look, after we saw the Death Row documentary on BET, shout out to BET for actually really bringing the heat on it, because to watch that history and to hear Michelle talk about just, to hear, really the in depth, because a lot of people don't know the whole story. They may have known that she had, Dre and Suge's kids, but it's like to see how that whole situation unfolded, man. I mean, did you ever talk to Nate Dogg about that situation in terms of what was going on at Death Row during that time?
Nah, I didn't. I never got to speak to him about that, to be completely honest with you. Sometimes, I think about some of the people I've been around when I was younger, I kept telling myself, "I got to be cool, got to be cool. Don't seem like the kid that's never been around people." But at this point now, like as an older me, like the one thing I just want to do is sit down and just pick people's brains. Just like, you know, where were you mentally during this time, and how were you able to cope with it during this time? It's definitely something I kind of missed out on. I will say that, especially with Nate Dogg.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that behind the music they did with him, and the one thing that always resonated with me that gave kind of a clue to how serious it was during that time with the road. He said, "I never left the studio. You know, I never left home without my gun going to the studio." He was like, "You just never knew what was going to happen."
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That question for you guys. Let me ask you this, because you guys have seen all the documentaries. You know, you had the Straight Outta Compton, you had the Machiavelli, you had the New Edition, the Death Row Story. Which one do you guys think was the best? Was like best directed the best, had the best cast? You know, which one would you guys go with?
I would have to probably go with New Edition.
Hey, New Edition was really good.
It was.
Straight
It was,
Compton was amazing.
Straight
Outta Compton was amazing. Were you guys disappointed with the Machiavelli? With the All Eyes on Me? I'm sorry.
Outside of some time,
we had a lot of mixed reviews with that. I mean, I say the acting was very superb in terms of characters and the right people to play those roles, but it's just the pacing and the story. It was all over the place. Like, it wasn't paced really well, but the acting was superb.
Yeah, Demetrius Shipp did a hell of a job. He did a hell of a job with it. You know, though, like King said, a lot of the time chronologicals were off a lot. I keep hearing somebody say they saw Yeezy boots on, and we're like, damn, so Yeezy had Yeezy boots back in 1994? And then, of course, the cell phone, you know, that wasn't even a flip phone. That was like an iPhone. Oh, okay, wait a minute. So they got an iPhone back in 1994? This is a period piece. You know, of course, Jada was hot about it because Jada was like, you know, that phone conversation between her and Pop never happened, you know, and they never had like that, you know. We will never, ever, you know, disparage Demetrius Shipp. He was given a role. He played the hell out of that role, and he did a great job. I just, like King said, I wish that movie had been written a little bit better in terms of the, you know, factuals.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I'm not even going to lie. I just keep it all the way 100. I got nervous when I seen the director, and I was like, I've only, the guy who directed it was Benny Boom, at least one of them. And I was like, I only know Benny Boom like in music videos. So I was really nervous to see what was going to come out of it. I know with Straight Outta Compton, like they had, you know, you had Cube, who's been doing movies for forever. You had, you know, Dre. It was,
but you had F. Gary Gray, I believe, directing that.
You did. So was Benny just on the? He was like co-director.
Yeah,
he might have been, but F. Gary Gray, yeah. But F. Gary Gray basically held it that whole ship on Straight Outta Compton. He held it that whole ship, and of course, you know, for what he did with The Negotiator. I mean, F. Gary Gray has been one of the best directors in Hollywood for over 2 decades. You know, when they got him, I was like, this is going to be great, and it was. That movie should have gotten an Oscar nomination for Best Picture, hands down.
I heard they had John Singleton about to do it first.
He was rumored to do it too.
Something that happened. Yeah, there was something that happened, and he ended up not doing it.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, it's a very complex. He lived a very complex life, so you have to really cover it. It will probably have to be like a mini series or something, like a Netflix series. Because you cannot you can't do a 2-part biopic in 2 hours.
No,
I definitely agree with you. Definitely agree with you on that.
But you know, there was a lot of stuff there, you know, and you know, definitely a lot of stuff there. But you know, but definitely.
Anyways, in terms of wrapping this thing up, I got to go in and say that it looks like there's gonna be a wrap for the Cavs, and the Golden State Warriors are gonna be the champs. Yeah.
I got my Hennessy. I got my Hennessy ready. wifey, I was like, look, just get some liquor ready and just let me sit in silence and deal with this. I hope LeBron go to Houston. Damn it, Brian, go to Houston. I don't care no more.
Yeah,
I don't know if LeBron got another move.
Like, we don't want you here, nigga.
Yeah,
I don't know if they got another move in them.
Look, y'all
don't want that to happen.
Yes, Chris Paul gonna get hurt again in the playoffs. He does this every year. So had you have LeBron there, James Harden, I respectfully say get rid of Mike D'Antoni though. Mike D'Antoni was here in Phoenix, did the same thing.
You said LeBron and James Harden right there. Y'all niggas don't want that.
Man, look, Mike D'Antoni. You know, Mike coaches a entertaining, fast-paced game, but it always happens at the end that they always lose.
They always lose. He was here in Phoenix doing the same thing. Remember, all he did was the exact same thing he did in Phoenix, except the difference is this: his point guard at that time was 6'4", not as fast, not as big. Yeah. Now you got James Harden, who is fast, athletic, can shoot. Oh, you can run the same thing. You got Eric Gordon, who will pretty much be Quentin Richardson. You got your Trevor Ariza, who's going to be Sean Marion. Clint Capella can run the floor. I can't give him Amari Stoudemire, but you know you got Clint Capella, and then you had who's the fourth guy? What, PJ Tucker?
Yeah.
Worked out for him. It just won't go all the way, unfortunately.
Well, the thing about it is this, and I tell people, you know, you got to be able to stop the other team from scoring. And D'Antoni's thing was he always felt like he could outscore the other team. That's why I was so shocked with what happened in 2003, because I really did not think the Spurs could run with them. And the Spurs adjusted their game and they ran with them. I was looking at this like, I'm dumbfounded. I'm like, I didn't know they could do this.
Greg Popovich needs a lot more credit than he gets.
But he made those adjustments, and for a couple of games, the Spurs ran with him, and when they didn't, they held him down. And then, of course, Robert Horry, he goats daggone Stoudemire. Come up with
7 rings.
Yeah, he got a fit.
Stoudemire daggone has to sit for game 5, and then they lose. So I'm like, man.
Yep, that's how it worked out. I mean, but look, this is what it is. I guess we could all go see LeBron play in Houston next year if you guys are down. We go to a home game and see LeBron play.
I said this is the Carolina guy. Come to the Hornets. Shoot, we need help.
Nah, he'll get Michael. Michael don't ever give him credit. He ain't coming to the Hornets. Michael don't ever give him love.
LeBron wants at least one more before it's over with.
He has to. That gives him that solidifies enough. But I don't know how much his body can personally handle.
And he's been in 15 years. Personally, I say if he retired tomorrow, he retires as one of the best ever. And he hangs his head on nothing. I'm like, you did your time. You got 3 championships, 4 MVPs. You ain't got nothing else to prove.
You got nothing else to prove. At this point, all you're doing is stat chasing. You stay now like you're literally just stat chasing. So, cool. If you want to end number 1 in points, cool. Go ahead and do that. Average 25. Stay at the Cavs and do that.
But we talking about LeBron. What's going to happen with Durant? Durant can leave after this year if he wants to.
Personally, if Durant don't have stars around him, he ain't going to do it.
Now because it's like that hunger is gone.
Yeah.
Now,
Durant got 2 rings.
Yeah, that hunger is gone now. So basically, nobody's going to invest in the Melo chase because Melo done got washed.
Yeah, and I rock with Carmelo, but Carmelo don't play defense. He can score, all-time great scorer, but he is not defensive. He is not a defensive stalwart, and but it'll be interesting, once again, yeah.
Yeah, everybody go in gotta go inside this thing out because I don't want to just cut off while we're talking. But we appreciate you joining
man,
us,
come back
man.
on the
you
show,
have anything
man. We
you
would
want to
love to
promote?
have you. Come back. Please come back
course,
and plug everything.
Yes, of course. I just want to make sure y'all, get on my social media. Everything is your boy Jae E, and that's YABOYJAE. E. So that's, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, wherever y'all at, that's going to be, how you reach me. Make sure y'all check out, if you don't have the Jae E station on your Pandora, add that, just Jae E. I'm on Spotify, Pandora, so any of the music y'all heard tonight, y'all can pick it up on there, stream it, however you like to go. I know a lot of y'all are trying to find that Nate Dogg record. That Nate Dogg record, it is called Fast Money. That is on Spotify and, Apple Music and all that as well. So, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all check that out. And, man, I definitely appreciate y'all with the hospitality, man. Definitely.
We appreciate you, and thank you so much thank you.
I had a good time. I enjoyed myself.
We definitely enjoyed it too.
Yeah, definitely. And on that note, we about to be out of here. Check us out next Friday night, same time, same channel.
Yeah.
And big shout out to our partner in crime, Eli the Sandman. We miss you, dog, but we holding it down.
Yeah, man.
And on that note, we are ghosts.
Yeah.
Already.
When we go out to eat, we never agree on where to go. I want burgers!
Pizza.
Tacos it is.
The one thing we do agree on is we all want unlimited high-speed data. That's why we switched to Metro PCS.
Stop by Metro PCS with the whole family and get 4 lines with unlimited LTE data for just $100, period. Metro PCS. Wireless. Figured out.
Coverage not available in some areas. Requires new line. During congestion, the fraction of customers using more than 35 gigs per month may notice reduced speeds. Video streams at up to 480p. No tethering. See store for details and terms and conditions.
When we go out to eat, we never agree on where to go. I want burgers!
Pizza.
Tacos it is.
The one thing we do agree on is we all want unlimited high-speed data. That's why we switched to Metro PCS.
Stop by Metro PCS with the whole family and get 4 lines with unlimited LTE data for just $100, period. Metro PCS. Wireless. Figured out.
Coverage not available in some areas. Requires new line. During congestion, the fraction of customers using more than 35 gigs per month may notice reduced speeds. Video streams at up to 480p. No tethering. See store for details and terms and conditions.